Bleach Thousand Year Blood War is the greatest redemption story I've ever seen. I know I may have just confused anime onlys and even manga readers, but just hear me out for a moment. Let's go back to August 22nd, 2016. Bleach manga has just ended with an okay final chapter, a very iffy final fight, and many disappointed fans with how things concluded. Then you add a video by a popular YouTuber that may or may not have included misinformation and misinformed takes on the series that spreads like absolute wildfire, leaving the fans in a position where they can get ridiculed for just being fans of the story. There is no news on the anime's return, and the only thing they have as far as Bleach content is a gacha game with Bleach Brave Souls. To say that things were looking grim for years is putting it lightly, but then an announcement comes revealing that yes, Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc, the arc that was never adapted, will finally be animated, and shortly thereafter comes Jump Festa with the first ever look into Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime. Years has passed by since then, and not only are we in the middle of the Thousand Year Blood War, which has been absolutely phenomenal so far with new additions to the story already, a potential new arc with Breath from Hell arc in the manga coming sometime soon, and after 13 years, Bleach finally has a new main game with absolute unreal levels of potential in a vast sea of mediocre anime games currently. My name is Will, and let me repeat myself. Bleach Thousand Year Blood War is the greatest redemption story I've ever seen. If you couldn't tell already, I absolutely love Bleach. I have the entire bloody series collected, and with how I started this channel with the first video I've ever made talking about what to expect with Thousand Year Blood War anime should 100% make that apparent. But regardless of that, if you would have told me back in 2021 Bleach would have a victory lap this massive, I wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. The last time I spoke on Bleach was making an analysis on Kenpachi's strength, and the last time I spoke on Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime in any capacity was after the first core aired. Time has passed, and so has the second core alongside the new reveal of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, so we have plenty to talk about. Good and bad, because trust me, despite how much Bleach fans have won, there are definitely some people who aren't satisfied with that and want to be completely and utterly miserable. But we'll get there. First, let's talk about Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime and what it has done so far. My thoughts on the first core were very positive. Seeing the absolute destruction caused by the Quincy's and the defeat of Yamamoto by the hands of Yhwach in animated form was one of the most fun times I ever had watching anime. I have a love-hate relationship with Studio Pierrot as they have blunders on their name, the biggest one being Tokyo Ghoul. I will forever be upset at how badly they bludgeoned the series for years. But I cannot sit here and deny that Pierrot's love and passion for Bleach is absolutely clear. Otite Kubo is supervising the anime and adding new content as he sees fit. Pierrot in the animation department did an absolutely phenomenal job in my opinion. Then we get into the second core, which has been somewhat controversial in what I like to call the Sakuga community. Sakuga is when a particular moment in an anime jumps in quality for highly animated sequences. It has been argued that the second core compared to the first feels like a quote-unquote slideshow presentation. Now, I understand that opinions and different perspectives exist, but I am so sorry. There is absolutely no way in hell I sat down and tortured myself editing my Record of Ragnarok Season 1 recap video where I had to watch over and over and over and over again one of the most lazy adaptations I've ever seen in my life, just for niggas to say that Bleach Thousand Year Blood War second core is just on that level. Fuck no. Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed the second core of Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, if not even more. I remember watching the Jump Festa trailer and seeing that there was going to be a red sky in this portion of the story compared to a gray sky in the color version of the manga, but genuinely, I adored this artistic choice. The name Blood War and having a red sky to be the background was fitting, and it gave the anime opportunities to play with the red sky and make clean looking shots that in my opinion wouldn't have hit the same if the sky was a different color. I mentioned this because this was another issue back then people had with the second chord as it aired, which I still find baffling to this day, but it is what it is. Then we get into what I personally feel is what elevated the second core and the anime in its totality, and that is the confrontation between the Shustaffel and Squad Zero in the Soul Palace. Before I get into how the anime did things, I want to make one thing very clear before people start running wild in the comments. I do not hate the manga. I have reread 1000 Year Blood War front to back so many times. My physical volumes are the only volumes in my entire manga collection that feels old in my hands. So when I praise what the anime does, I don't want the idea to be that the manga has absolutely no merit when it does. I say this as someone who loves what Kubo did with 1000 Year Blood War despite some of his shortcomings. With that out of the way, to say that the anime improved my perception of not only Squad Zero but also the entire battle in the Soul Palace would be the biggest understatement I have ever said on the channel. Core 3 be damned, that shit has not even come out yet. The additions, the changes, the atmosphere, the music, the animation, everything was done beautifully to the point the manga doesn't even hit the same for me anymore in this portion of the story. Like I stated in my video talking about the first core, the few additions that have been made with Ishida have made 1000 Year Blood War a much more complete experience that the manga lacked. It finally feels like all the pieces are coming together the more the anime progresses, and that is what gives me the most hope when we get to the most critical portions of the arc that Kubo couldn't give much attention to because of his deteriorating health at the time. The involvement Ishida has in this fight compared to the manga is so critical and made him a genuine wild card. Then there's Squad Zero, who get the most insane buff of all time as some of the members sacrifice themselves in order for Senjumaru to use her Bankai against the Shustaffel, which shakes every single realm. The fact that something this massive was not in the manga still blows my goddamn mind. Also, the scene with Ichibei and Yuhabaka meeting with one another, which not only foreshadows potential future events, gives into context how Pernita is now with the Quincy's, but also explains why Yuhabak didn't have Almighty all this time, is absolutely fucking genius. So much was answered in just a few minutes. By the time I'm recording this video, and probably as you're watching this, the third core still hasn't started airing yet. But if you were to ask me if I have faith with what Bleach 1000 Year Blood War anime is doing, and if I believe that Studio Pierrot with the help of Kubo will redeem what the manga did at the very end, then the answer is a resounding yes. But enough about the anime, let's talk about the biggest thing that has been on my mind since it first was revealed, and that is Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Anime fighting games have currently been in the deepest depths of hell. So let's run down the list, shall we? Jujutsu Kaisen Curse Clash, Dead on Arrival, One Punch Man, a hero nobody knows. Let's let that one sink in for a moment. My Hero Wants Justice, pure mid. Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles, absolute wasteland from a roster perspective. And Naruto to Boruto Storm Connections, Storm series basically milked to death. The only IP that has been carrying things is Dragon Ball with Fighter Z, which just recently got its final patch update, and the very soon releasing Sparking Zero. Ever since I got into Bleach, I always wanted a game, whether it was a very good fighting game such as Arena Fighter, or even an open world RPG that faithfully depicts the very interesting world of Bleach. And as someone who loves sword fighting, a Bleach game of any kind would 100% scratch that itch. What I didn't expect was not only getting a Bleach fighting game so soon as 1000 Year Blood War anime is currently airing, but to be seemingly so filled with love and passion by the developers Tamsoft. The trailers and gameplay we have seen has given me so much hope for what could be one of the greatest anime games we have ever seen, and I don't say this lightly either. The way in which the gameplay perfectly implements the power system of Bleach and how it operates is flawless work by Tamsoft. The visual presentation and the graphics fit Bleach's style like a glove and shows an understanding of what made the original work stand out from its contemporaries. Seeing the voice actors in Kubo do an entire tournament tournament with the game and how a full fight goes genuinely impressed me so much. I cannot wait to get my hands on this game and go absolutely feral on every single female character. I mean, I cannot wait for me to main Kenpachi and go crazy playing online. And speaking of online, the only thing that I'm concerned with this game is the online features. It would be such a shame if there isn't rollback netcode, the ability to make tournaments, and spectator mode. Features as simple as these could give the game so much life to the point Tamsoft could deadass not drop DLC for an entire year and the game would still be very much alive. But imagine having all of that and immense support by Tamsoft and for us to get a full bring in Thousand Year Blood War DLC on top, which has all the characters in story mode cutscenes. This game could last for 5 years minimum, and that's lowballing it because it could easily be more. As you could probably tell at this point, being a Bleach fan has never felt this good. However, to some people, it is not enough that Bleach has been shown so much love and support recently despite the years it was slandered prior. If you have been to some level tapped in with Bleach Rebirth of Souls content and the conversation on Twitter, you probably already know the absolute chaos that was the beef between James Henson and Afro Senju. To give you the TLDR version of what transpired, Senju made his video reacting to the first trailer of Bleach Rebirth of Souls, and James didn't like this because he's quote-unquote only cloud chasing off of the current success of Bleach, which then after a few not so pleasant words on DMs, James went as far as to say Senju should have went to Soul Society in a car crash that happened early this year, which Senju luckily survived. I bring this drama up to point out something that I've noticed with certain Bleach fans since the Thousand Year Blood War anime started airing. Like I started this video with, Bleach fans back when the manga ended were in the absolute trenches. To say you were a fan of the series at the time was the equivalent of having a kick me sign taped on your back and everyone just absolutely kicking the shit out of you constantly. It was not a fun time whatsoever. That understandably can build some level of resentment, but what Bleach fans need to understand is that people have the right to change their minds. It is no longer 2016 where expressing your love of Bleach would get you ridiculed everywhere. The people that used to show hate have now given the series a genuine chance and have become fans as well. So Bleach fans, please, for the love of everything that is holy, leave out of that 2016 mindset and just be glad with what you are receiving. If I was someone who was a fan of Bleach at that time and saw that all of my support of the series through the thick and thin led me to now receiving an amazing anime adaptation and a great looking video game that has now people being positive towards Bleach despite whatever they said years before, I can say with 100% certainty I wouldn't be upset. I would be happy. I would be glad that the series I was passionate about is getting the recognition it deserved, even if it took a long time to get there. So why can't you? What's stopping you from enjoying everything Bleach has going for right now? The answer to that question is obviously nothing. All this to say, Bleach's return with Thousand Year Blood War anime sent things in motion to what I like to call a renaissance for the series. And renaissance means rebirth. Once a story that was looked at negatively now has gotten so much love and support to the point its content feels like it knows no bounds. In part, we have to give a shout out to Bleach Brave Souls. The fact the mobile gacha game has gotten so much support in a time where Bleach was in the absolute trenches, who knows if the Thousand Year Blood War anime would be here today. Ultimately, when it comes to Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime and what currently has remaining to adapt, in Rebirth of Souls with the massive potential it has as an anime game, Bleach right now feels absolutely unstoppable. And if things really do land with both the anime and the game, this might be one of, if not the greatest redemption story I've ever seen. To end this video, I want to know your thoughts on Bleach, whether it is the anime or Rebirth of Souls. I am very curious what you guys have to say. If you come from the future, feel free to use the comments to confirm everything that was said on this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos from yours truly. And with that, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day wherever you are. See you guys next time.